Wayyiqra, Leviticus chapter 16. And Yahuah spoke to Moshe after the death of the two sons of Aaron, when they drew near before Yahuah and died. And Yahuah said to Moshe, Speak to Aaron your brother not to come in at all times to the Kodesh place inside the veil, before the lid of atonement which is on the ark, lest he die, because I appear in the cloud above the lid of atonement. With this Aaron should come into the Kodesh place, with the blood of a young bull as a sin offering, and of a ram as a burnt offering. He should put on the Kodesh linen long shirt, with linen trousers on his flesh, and gird himself with a linen girdle, and be dressed with the linen turban. They are Kodesh garments. And he shall bathe his body in water, and shall put them on. And from the congregation of the children of Yisrael he takes 2 male goats as a sin offering, and 1 ram as a burnt offering. And Aaron shall bring the bull as a sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house. And he shall take the 2 goats, and let them stand before Yahuah at the door of the tent of appointment. And Aaron shall cast lots for the 2 goats, 1 lot for Yahuah, and the other lot for Azazel. And Aaron shall bring the goat on which the lot for Yahuah fell, and shall prepare it as a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot for Azazel fell is caused to stand alive before Yahuah, to make atonement upon it, to send it into the wilderness to Azazel. And Aaron shall bring the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house, and shall slaughter the bull as the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall take a fire holder filled with burning coals of fire from the altar before Yahuah, with his hands filled with sweet incense beaten fine, and shall bring it inside the veil. And he shall put the incense on the fire before Yahuah, and the cloud of incense shall cover the lid of atonement which is on the witness, lest he die. And he shall take some of the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it with his finger on the lid of atonement on the east side. Also in front of the lid of atonement he sprinkles some of the blood with his finger 7 times. And he shall slaughter the goat of the sin offering, which is for the people, and shall bring its blood inside the veil, and shall do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the lid of atonement and in front of the lid of atonement. And he shall make atonement for the Kodesh place, because of the uncleanness of the children of Yisrael, and because of their transgressions in all their sins. And so he does for the tent of appointment, which is dwelling with them in the midst of their uncleanness. And no man should be in the tent of appointment when he goes in to make atonement in the Kodesh place until he comes out. And he shall make atonement for himself and for his household and for all the assembly of Yisrael. And he shall go out to the altar that is before Yahuah, and make atonement for it. And he shall take some of the blood of the bull and some of the blood of the goat, and put it on the horns of the altar all around. And he shall sprinkle some of the blood on it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and kadosh it from the uncleanness of the children of Yisrael. And when he has finished atoning for the Kadesh place, and the tent of appointment, and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. Then Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, and shall confess over it all the wickednesses of the children of Yisrael, and all their transgressions and all their sins, and shall put them on the head of the goat, and shall send it away into the wilderness by the hand of a fit man. And the goat shall bear on itself all their wickednesses to a land cut off. Then he shall send the goat away into the wilderness. Aaron shall then come into the tent of appointment, and shall take off the linen garments which he put on when he went into the Kodesh place, and shall leave them there. And he shall bathe his body in water in the Kodesh place, and shall put on his garments, and shall come out and prepare his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, and make atonement for himself and for the people, and burn the fat of the sin offering on the altar. And he who sent away the goat to Azazel washes his garments, and shall bathe his body in water, and afterward he comes into the camp. And the bull for the sin offering, and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the Kodesh place, is brought outside the camp. And they shall burn their skins, and their flesh, and their dung with fire. And he who burns them washes his garments, and shall bathe his body in water, and afterward he comes into the camp. And this shall be for you a law forever. In the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you afflict your beings, and do no work, the native or the stranger who sojourns among you. For on that day he makes atonement for you, to cleanse you, to be clean from all your sins before Yahuah. It is a Shabbat of rest for you, and you shall afflict your beings, a law forever. And the Kohen, who is anointed and ordained to serve as Kohen in his father's place, shall make atonement, and shall put on the linen garments, the Kodesh garments, and he shall make atonement for the Kodesh Mikdash, and make atonement for the tent of appointment, and for the altar, and make atonement for the Kohanim, and for all the people of the assembly. And this shall be for you a law forever, to make atonement for the children of Yisrael for all their sins once a year. And he did as Yahuah commanded Moshe. Wayyiqra, Leviticus chapter 17. And Yahuah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron, to his sons, and to all the children of Yisrael, and say to them, This is the word which Yahuah has commanded, saying, Any man from the house of Yisrael who slaughters a bull or a lamb or a goat in the camp, or who slaughters it outside the camp, and does not bring it to the door of the tent of appointment to bring an offering to Yahuah before the Mishkan of Yahuah, blood guilt is reckoned to that man. He has shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people, in order that the children of Yisrael bring their slaughterings which they slaughter in the open field. And they shall bring them to Yahuah at the door of the tent of appointment, to the Kohen, and slaughter them as peace offerings to Yahuah. And the Kohen shall sprinkle the blood on the altar of Yahuah at the door of the tent of appointment, and shall burn the fat for a sweet fragrance to Yahuah. And let them no longer slaughter their slaughterings to demons, after whom they whored. This is a law forever for them throughout their generations. And say to them, Any man of the house of Yisrael, or of the strangers who sojourn among you, who offers a burnt offering or slaughtering, and does not bring it to the door of the tent of appointment to do it to Yahuah, that man shall be cut off from among his people. And any man of the house of Yisrael, or of the strangers who sojourn among you, who eats any blood, I shall turn my face against that being who eats blood, and shall cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your lives. For it is the blood that makes atonement for the life. Therefore I said to the children of Yisrael, No being among you eats blood, nor does any stranger who sojourns among you eat blood. And any man from the children of Yisrael, or from the strangers who sojourn among you, who hunts and catches any beast or bird which is eaten shall pour out its blood and cover it with dust, for it is the life of all flesh. Its blood is for its life. And I said to the children of Yisrael, do not eat the blood of any flesh, for the life of all flesh is its blood. Anyone eating it is cut off. And any being who eats a carcass or what was torn by a beast, be he a native or a stranger, he shall wash his garments and bathe in water and shall be unclean until evening. Then he shall be clean. And if he does not wash or bathe his body, then he shall bear his wickedness.